Today I'll be doing a side-by-side comparison with these two siblings, the Toyota 4Runner and the Lexus GX. Both models actually share quite a bit in common, with the 4Runner being your more mainstream, high-volume seller, and the GX being the more premium alternative. The 4Runner first came out in 1984 and is currently on its 5th generation. This 5th generation model started for the 2010 model year and then saw major updates for the 2014 and 2020 model year. This is the 2017. The Lexus GX is based off of the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, which is sold in several other foreign markets. Essentially, it's a luxury version with Lexus badging and styling. This came out for the 2003 model year as the GX460. It had a 4.7 liter V8. And then the second generation model was introduced for 2010. The 4.7 liter V8 was replaced by a new 4.6 liter V8. And so the name changed from the GX470 to the GX460. The GX460 has also seen a couple major updates for the 2014 and 2020 model years. The 5th generation model of the 4Runner is arguably the best looking generation. That's saying a lot for a vehicle that's got a cult-like following and been very popular for every generation. But part of what makes me say that is that this model came out for the 2010 model year and it's still sold today with very few changes, making it the longest lasting 4Runner on the market, and sales are actually increasing in recent years. There's just something about the overall look that is so classic. Now, I mentioned that it saw a minor refresh in 2014. The main change that you'll see is to the front fascia here. I love the change that we get here. I think it really brings the whole design together. I will note that the limited model has a more toned down look than what you've got on other trim packages. Personally, I like the look that you get on these other trim packages. It's got this really large grille opening with this large horizontal bar cutting across the middle, nice modern headlight design, and then fog lights down below. The 5th generation 4Runner has been available in a number of different trim packages. Currently, you can get it in the SR5, the SR5 Premium, which is what we've got here today, the TRD Off-Road, the Venture Edition, the Limited, and the TRD Pro. On the side profile here, again, it's got a really nice look to it. This is actually my favorite angle on the 4Runner. Something about the layout of the windows and the pillars here, the C-pillar in particular, and this rear window just has this really classic look to it. I also really like the aggressive fenders that we've got at the front and rear, jutting out slightly. You'll see you've got a pretty nice mirror design here with the integrated blinker, side rails up top that are brushed aluminum. And then my model's also got a set of aftermarket wheels and tires, so it gives it a more aggressive stance than what you're going to see stock from the factory. Also got integrated mud flaps at the front and rear. And then coming around to the back, it's got a really nice look here as well. With that 2014 refresh, we get a revised tail light fixture with clear lenses and LEDs. Really gives it a nice updated look. Another cool feature on the 4Runner is that this rear window rolls down into the rear hatch. And then you'll see that the rear hatch has a pretty nice bulge in the middle, again giving it a nice aggressive look. And we've got this integrated spoiler up top with the third brake light. Also got a tow package down below. All around, a really great looking design on the 4Runner. Likewise, the GX460's got a really nice exterior design. It's a bit European in nature given that it's based off of the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, but it definitely gets the Lexus treatment, and it's got a much more premium look than both the Land Cruiser Prado and the 4Runner. I'm particularly fond of these early years of the GX460 because of this front fascia design. It gets revised in later years and it's got a very dramatic look to it with a very large grille opening. I prefer the more subtle look that we've got here. You see that the grille has simple 3 horizontal bars, chrome surround, nice looking headlight fixture, and then we've got fog lights down below with a chrome surround. Also got parking sensors in this front bumper. And of course, because this is a Lexus, it's got a more premium look to it with a lot more chrome than what you're going to see on the 4Runner. Chrome side rails, chrome strip below the windows here, chrome door handles, and chrome wheels. One thing I'm not particularly crazy about on the GX is the integrated running boards down below here. They're so integral to the shape of the vehicle that if you pull them off, it looks a little bit funny without them, but a lot of people do like to pull them off to give it a more rugged look and to improve ground clearance. So definitely one downside with the GX. You'll see that the front of the running boards here kind of act like a mud flap for the front wheel, and then we've got mud flap at the rear as well. Our mirrors also got integrated blinkers, and you'll see it's got smart door handles, so it's got a smart key for automatic unlocking and locking. Coming around back, it's got a really nice clean design here as well, very premium look to it with more chrome strips above and below the license plate, and then our Lexus lettering emblem and the GX460 lettering is all in chrome. Nice looking tail light fixture wrapping around the side here, and then an additional fixture down below with our backup lights. You'll see our bumpers got parking sensors. We've got our tow package, and just like the 4Runner, we've got the integrated spoiler up top with the third brake light. Now on the GX, this top window, we push on this button here and this pulls up, and then the door is side swinging. We've got the door handle back behind here and it swings out from the passenger side, so a bit different from the 4Runner. All around though, a really nice design. I tend to prefer the styling that we've got on the 4Runner because it's more bold, more aggressive looking, kind of looks more like an off-road vehicle. But certainly if you're looking for a more premium alternative to the 4Runner, this is a really nice look. And like I said, I really think that the early years of the GX460 are nice because of the more toned down design. Although the 4Runner is not as premium as the GX, you'll see it's still got a pretty nice interior design. Nice looking layout that's functional, decent quality materials, and a pretty nice level of standard options and features on this SR5 Premium. Got the leatherette seats that are two-tone, leather wrapped steering wheel, power windows, power door locks, power driver seat with lumbar support, power mirrors, dimmer switch for the instrument cluster, rear windshield wiper, and power inverter in the rear. On the steering wheel, we've got controls for a number of vehicle settings, audio, Bluetooth, got cruise control down below here. Instrument cluster's got a nice look to it, nice modern design. Center dash, we've got a clock up top and a couple vents below that, as well as our hazard lights in the middle. And then we've got our infotainment screen that is touch sensitive and duals as a backup camera. You see it's currently on audio, and we've got AM, FM radio, XM radio, CD, USB, Bluetooth, auxiliary connection. We've also got a number of apps. If we push on this app screen, you'll see we've got a number of other settings that you can go through. Text messages, phone connectivity, audio, navigation, setup for vehicle settings, traffic information, weather information, maintenance, and some more of those apps. A few of these features do require either a subscription service or connectivity with your phone. Push on this home button here, brings us to the home screen. Cool feature is that you can adjust this to your preferences. It's currently set with audio information on the left hand side, phone information on the right, but you can change it to include navigation or other settings. And you'll see we've got single button to push and make a call, so kind of a cool feature. It's really handy if you're driving and you want to stay focused on the road. We've got our climate control below, which is single zone with heat and air conditioning. We've also got a heated rear windshield and heated mirrors. Below that, some little storage compartments, USB and auxiliary connection, 12-volt outlet, electronically controlled four-wheel drive system here with our low and high range four-wheel drive. So you just push on this and twist it to change modes. Gear lever, a little more storage space, another cup holder, heated seats for driver and passenger side, and then control of that rear window. Nice large center console here. Self-dimming rear view mirror, compartment for sunglasses, got a button here to turn off traction control, A-track, hill descent control, and the ability to program up to 3 garage door openers, and we've got a couple of reading lights. Looking into the middle row of the 4Runner, you'll see that it's very spacious here. Plenty of leg, head, and shoulder room. Center seat here folds down into an armrest and has 2 cup holders built in. Center console's got a couple of vents and 2 12-volt outlets. Got a lever here for reclining the seat back, and we've got another lever down below to slide the seat bottom forward and back to increase space in the rear. Doors got cup holders built in. This 4Runner is equipped with the optional 3rd row seat, which you can only get on the SR5 and SR5 Premium. To access it, we've got to be on the passenger side, pull that lever, and the seat slides forward. And our 3rd row seat's back here. Pull up the seat back here and headrest and the seat bottom into place. You'll see it's a bit of a jump seat, but it's actually not terrible. I'm 5'10" and I do fit back there. Well, it's a little tight. And then to drop it back down, we've got a lever here. Again, we can pull that handle, drop down the seat. And then coming around to the back, you see cargo space is pretty good when those seats are not in use, but when they are, again, space will be a little bit tight. Not really going to fit a whole lot behind these seats. We'll say overall easier to pull these seat backs up from the rear. You see you've got some cup holders and storage space on either side. And then we've got a 12-volt outlet and another power outlet that interfaces with that inverter switch that's up by the steering wheel. Looking into the GX, you'll see it's definitely got a more premium look than the 4Runner. Plenty of leather wrap surfaces and wood accents. Again, nice quality materials and good fit and finish. And a lot more standard features than what you're going to see on the 4Runner. Got power windows, power door locks, memory settings for 2 drivers, full power driver seat with lumbar support, real leather seats, and real leather wrap steering wheel, again with the wood insets. Got power mirrors, dimmer switch for the instrument cluster, button here for turning traction control off, button for opening the fuel tank. Steering column is electronically adjusted with this switch. Got audio controls, Bluetooth controls, and voice activation features on the steering wheel here. The instrument cluster's got a very premium look to it. Got a smart key with push button start. Button here for turning off side curtain airbags when off-roading, and then the center locking differential. Got a couple of vents and hazard lights up top. And then a nice large infotainment screen, quite a bit larger than what you get on the 4Runner. Again, it duals as your backup camera. Currently it's on audio, and you'll see we've got AM, FM radio, satellite radio, CD, Bluetooth, auxiliary connection, and USB. It's a very intuitive system, and it is touch sensitive. See, for example, if you wanted to adjust sound quality, you can adjust the treble, mid-range, bass, and positioning. So very intuitive system all around. We'll go to climate control. You can control climate here on this screen. Likewise, we've got climate control on these buttons here. So kind of a nice system to have that dual functionality. We've also got navigation, phone connectivity, and then you can adjust the number of vehicle settings as well. Got a button here for adjusting the display settings. Again, climate control below with heat and air conditioning. In this model, it is dual zone for driver and front passenger. Next, we've got a clock, and then the CD player, and then we've got this little cover that drops down. We've got audio controls below that. So again, dual functionality where you can use these audio controls or you can use the touch screen. Below that, we've got this little cover that slides back. Got some storage space, auxiliary connection and USB connection, 12-volt outlet, heated and ventilated seats for driver and front passenger. Got our gear shifter, hill descent control, and then we've got that electronically adjustable low range option. Another cover here that opens up with 2 cup holders, and then nice large center console with a removable tray. And then these armrests on both the driver and passenger side. We've got a little lever here that you can slide those forward and backward. Up above, we've got a self-dimming rear view mirror with a compass. Got a mirror for spying on those rear passengers. Got the Lexus SOS system, which is a subscriber service. You can program up to 3 garage door openers. And they've got a tilt and sliding sunroof. Just like the 4Runner, you'll see that this middle row is pretty spacious. Good leg, head, and shoulder room. Again, center seat back drops down with 2 cup holders. Basically the same design as the 4Runner. And then our center console has got climate control for the rear passengers, so they can independently control that, giving us a third zone, and vents are up in the ceiling. Got cup holders and side doors here, just like the 4Runner. And unfortunately, just like the 4Runner, we still got to walk around to the passenger side to access the third row seat. Got the same lever here, pull that to slide this forward. And we've basically got the same design back here as the 4Runner, but it's electronically controlled. So you see we've got these buttons here, going to 50-50 split. So we can fold them up independently if we want to. Those fold up and then the seat bottoms will come up. Headrests still need to be manually operated. And we'll walk around to the rear, open up here, and you'll see just like the 4Runner, pretty tight when these seats are in use. Again, headrests can just pull up into place, and then to drop them down, you just pull on that. And then again, we've got controls back here if you want to fold these down. So we've got cup holders on both sides again. And with these seats down, pretty good amount of rear cargo space. Also got power outlet back here just like the 4Runner. When the 5th generation 4Runner came out in 2010, it was offered with either a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder or this 4-liter V6. The 2.7 was dropped after 2010, so you're going to see the same engine throughout the rest of the years of the 5th generation 4Runner. It's got 270 horsepower, 278 pound-feet of torque, and it's paired to a 5-speed automatic transmission. That's good for 0 to 60 time of about 7.8 seconds and max tow capacity of 5,000 pounds. Sees an EPA rating of 17 miles per gallon in the city and 20 miles per gallon on the highway in 4-wheel drive, and then you'll see a 1 mile per gallon bump in rear-wheel drive. The GX460, for comparison, has a 4.6 liter V8 with 301 horsepower and 329 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission, which is good for 0 to 60 time of 6.9 seconds and max tow capacity of 6,500 pounds. The GX460 comes standard with 4-wheel drive, and it's got an EPA rating of 15 miles per gallon in the city and 20 miles per gallon on the highway. The 4Runner is offered in rear-wheel drive with a part-time 4-wheel drive system or a full-time 4-wheel drive system if you go with a limited model. On the 4-wheel drive models, they've got a 2-speed transfer case with a low-range option, and then the 4Runner also comes standard with A-Track, which is a traction control system that is able to apply braking to limit wheel spin. We've also got available locking rear differential and multi-terrain select with crawl control on the TRD Off-Road and TRD Pro models, and then they've also got the available KDSS stability control system, which limits body roll and improves handling. For comparison, the GX460 comes standard with a full-time 4-wheel drive system just like we see in the limited 4Runner model, and it's got an electronically controlled low-range option. It's also got a standard center locking differential, and it comes standard with KDSS, the stability control system that I mentioned on the 4Runner. In addition to these features, there are a number of other available features on the GX, including adjustable height suspension, a variable air suspension, hill start assist, hill descent control, crawl control, and A-Track. All around, the 4Runner is a pretty nice vehicle to drive given what it is, which is an SUV that's body-on-frame construction with a lot of ground clearance. And as a result, there are some compromises. When you're driving at higher speeds, sitting in the back seat in particular, you get a little bit of a car-sick feel. Going around corners, there's a lot of body roll, and then when you're braking, it has quite a bit of nosedive. But again, given that it's kind of an old school body on frame construction with a lot of ground clearance, you expect a little bit of that, and it's not all that bad. The 4-liter V6 that comes standard on the 4Runner is definitely a solid engine when it comes to reliability and durability, but in terms of performance, it is a little bit lacking. It doesn't feel like there's any surplus of power, and that 5-speed automatic transmission is definitely very outdated. In terms of shifts, it doesn't give you a lot of variability given that there are only 5 options. And then for highway cruising, the fuel economy definitely suffers given that we don't have a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th speed. The cabin in the 4Runner is pretty nice as well, especially on this SR5 Premium. It comes with a pretty nice level of standard options and features, and it's certainly a very comfortable environment. They've made some really nice advancements over prior generations of the 4Runner, although it's definitely starting to show its age here in 2020. So all around, the 4Runner is a pretty decent ride, although you're definitely making a few compromises. It's not going to be quite as luxurious, comfortable, smooth, quiet, and powerful as the GX, but as a new vehicle, it's also a lot more affordable. Well, the 4Runner is nice to drive, but the GX is definitely nicer. Obviously, all the luxury and tech features, the feel of the wood and the real leather on your hands just gives it that more premium feel. But even beyond that, just all around, it's got a much more high-end feel to it. It feels a lot more substantial, it's quieter, it's smoother, and of course, because of that V8, it's also a lot more powerful. The 4.6-liter V8 that you get in the GX is definitely the biggest advantage over the 4Runner. The 4-liter V6 in the 4Runner feels pretty antiquated in comparison. It's certainly a tried and tested engine, it's very reliable, and it offers decent performance, but it feels a little bit gutless and it's very thirsty. This 4.6-liter V8, by comparison, feels much more modern, it's much more powerful, it's smoother, and it just seems much more suited to the vehicle than what you get with the 4Runner. The fact that this has a 6-speed automatic as opposed to the 5-speed automatic in the 4Runner is also a really nice advantage, especially when you get up to highway speeds. It doesn't feel like it's revving so high, and that's why the gas mileage in the GX is the same with a V8 as what you get with the 4Runner and a V6 for highway driving. Well, there's no denying that the GX460 definitely drives nicer than the 4Runner. And that's not a slam against the 4Runner because it's quite impressive how well the 4Runner drives for a vehicle that's body-on-frame construction with that much ground clearance. But nonetheless, this vehicle definitely outperforms the 4Runner. It's smoother, it's quieter, it's more comfortable, better handling, and of course that V8 and the 6-speed automatic is a huge advantage over the 4Runner. So there you go, that's a look at the Lexus GX next to the Toyota 4Runner, two very nice vehicles that offer different advantages. Obviously the Lexus would be quite a bit more expensive coming new from the factory, but as a used vehicle, they're actually very well matched in terms of price because of the strong resale value on the 4Runner. With the GX, you're getting a more premium look, a lot more luxury and tech features, and that V8. With the 4Runner, it's probably going to be a bit more reliable long term because it doesn't have so many luxury and tech features. Likewise, I think the styling on the 4Runner is a bit more timeless than what you've got on the GX. For me, I decided to go the route of the 4Runner, but I'd love to get your opinion. If you were choosing between these two vehicles, which one would you go with? For more car reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.